What's good? What's good out there? YouTube, what's happening? Want to get some people in here to talk boxing with me. I see y'all peeping through the blinds. It's okay to come on out. It's okay to let the shade up. Let the shades up. Come on out here and talk some boxing with Stormy B Man. Come on. What you hiding for? Huh? You gotta hide. Come on out. Put your put your name in the chat. Come on out of there. Huh? And if you worry about my little lion down there, Sabretooth, he ain't gonna bother you until I sick him on you. So, he don't roar too much, but he do got some talents. He'll bite you in the ass. Okay? So, 245 stitches. That's what it be. Joseph Brown, what's up, man? Good to see you out there, brother. Huh? The lion don't bite, bro. He don't bite. So, man, they been messing with my internet over here in Chicago, man. My earlier stream with Reggie Owens was very good, man. We was talking some good talk, but it started buffering and everything, and we missed out on about 20 minutes of great conversation, man. So I came back on here now just in case anybody out there just want to talk some boxing. That's all. You know, Bobby Jean, salute. What's going on, Bobby Jean? Is that Bobby as in a lady Bobby or Bobby as in a male Bobby? I don't want to mix up the genders. I want to make sure I'm calling everybody straight on it, on what it is. All right, Bobby Jean, the lady. Salute to you, sister. Glad you're out there. Yeah, Joseph Brown, you at work? I hear you, bro. I hope I can make it a little easier for you as listening and finishing up your work day. Oh, Joseph Brown, my background in the sport of boxing is a boxing coach, man. I've worked with a lot of amateurs here in Chicago out of the Park District, and I've worked with some pros. Uh, Several of our park districts here, the pros train at the facilities. Um, they don't run their training camps out of the facilities of the park district, but when they just staying busy with their ritual workouts and everything, they're in there. So that's what it is. Mr. Boxing Today, salute to you. Two gloves up, Clifton Bronson. What's going on with you, bro? It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Reggie Owens and I had a really good stream going earlier, man. We were talking some good stuff. Battle Rifle, what's up? Everything's good on my end. Just hope that my internet comes back online like it's supposed to. I've been trying to get this service going. I've been on and off the phone with AT&T. It's not even at my house. It's a neighborhood box that feeds the houses, and there's something wrong with that box up there. Like I can get internet like to go online and everything, but my signal for streaming and everything I want to do with YouTube and everything, that's it's so weak. It's not like it's supposed to be. So I've been on the phone with these people trying to get them out here to get it straightened out. It was a guy, he was lying to the dispatcher saying that he was out here and he was like about to go up on the pole and everything. Dude wasn't even in the neighborhood, man, because I could see the pole from my back window. So crazy, man. Well, Joseph, no, I don't have anybody coming up right now. And I'm not in the gym with anybody right now. My mentor, Eddie Davis, is running the Park District facility, and he usually calls me when he wants some help or something. But I'm not doing that full time anymore. I was in the gym regular, and I got burned out, man. You know, but I don't mind working with guys. I don't mind lending my capabilities, and Eddie calls me from time to time. But no, I don't. I'm not doing it full time. So yeah, battle rifle. It's not about my internet speed. It's the feed that comes to my home because everybody in my area don't have AT&T, but there's a box that feeds. It's like a two-line box, and the two lines that feeds out to the homes in the immediate area. One of the lines in the box is down because the guy came to my house yesterday. He checked my equipment and everything and let me know everything was cool as far as me. But there was another technician that was supposed to go up on that pole and get in that box. He never showed up yesterday. He showed up supposedly today, but I still haven't seen him get up there on that pole. But the dispatcher said that he was out there and he was going to call me. I mean, the dude called my phone and said that the weather was getting ready to turn bad, a storm, but he was waiting it out and he was going to be up there, but I ain't seen nobody go up there yet. So I tuned back some of my feed, what I wanted to do, but I wanted to talk boxing, man, so I'm on here, and of all the days for it to go out around the weekend is the worst time for me because on the weekend is when I can really do my streams. I don't really do streams during the week. you know, Come Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday, I could get on with no problem. But during the weekdays, I leave it to all the other brothers who have the shows going and stuff. And I'm not that kind of guy that want to be on like every day or something. But it's like I do have to get on here and try and make sure that the stream is working. So that's why you see me. I was on there earlier, and if the stream had completed, we were looking to do 2 hours. We got like an hour and 15, 20 minutes. Then it messed up on us. So we missed out on about 45 minutes of a stream that we wanted to go to its completion. And I posted it. I let it run its gamut, but it only is like an hour and 18 minutes or something. So Bobby Jean, the Golden Gloves is not in every state, but they have it's regional, and there are major cities that host the Golden Gloves tournaments. And what you have to do is like if you are in a city where they don't have it, it might be a nearby neighboring city that might have it, that might have a larger networking system. That's how it works. They try to work through the areas where there are like a larger a larger vine, because if they host the matches, people will come from a certain section, and it's throughout the country like that. Hey Reggie, what's going on, man? I'm back on here, Reggie, trying to, see if the stream is gonna play. So far so good, but I hate the fact that it cut off on us, Reggie, and we only got like an hour and 15, hour 18 minutes on that last stream you and I did. The rest of it, even though we were recording on Hangouts, it wasn't it didn't record to the video. So, but I left it up because we were talking some good stuff, man. But the rest of what we were saying before we got off, after it started buffering really bad, it didn't retain that, man. I hate that. Social scientist, what's good, man? You back, huh? Coming back with your little bit to add to the shows and everything. You probably gonna end up having to get on the channel, man, and get on the panel, let people see your face, man. Cause you be out there saying some stuff, getting the conversation stirred up. So sometimes that's good though. Yeah, man. Y'all like my little jazz I got going in the background? That's my thing, man. I'm old, man. I like jazz. Huh? I leave I leave that hip hop mess to you young fellas, you know. But I don't expect that it's a whole lot of young fellas on the Stormybman channel. I expect there's some vets on there like myself. I think Joseph Brown might be a vet, you know. Yeah, social scientists. Yeah, you get Reggie Owens thinks that I should get at you and have you get on, but yeah, we can do that. We can get you on there one day. You can send me an email and we'll see what you're talking about. But we gotta see how you move a little bit first. I want to make sure, you ain't one of them double agents out there, man. You might be, specially signed by YouTube or something. You know, that's why I got Sabretooth down there to watch out for them double agents. You see how Sabretooth looking to the left and to the right, huh? He got me covered, huh? If you wasn't on here earlier, I say Sabretooth, he got them talons and them fangs, man. You know, When he get a hold of that rat, that rump roast, man, you know, 200 some stitches in the behind. There you go. Yeah. I'm gonna have to have me another kung fu show special too, man. You know, Stormy B man like them kung fu movies. So I'm gonna have me another kung fu show. We did one a few weeks ago. That was pretty popular. I don't know if anybody on the chat right now like them kung fu movies, but I'm old school. I like all movies actually, but kung fu is just a acquired taste. You know, I like westerns. I like pretty much everything. Yeah, you know what's funny is I put these different graphics up on the screen and everything. I like that, man. You know, I like the graphics. But pretty soon the Hangouts is going away and YouTube ain't gonna let us do the Hangouts. So it's gonna be interesting how we're gonna run the lives and everything after that. I don't know what we're gonna do as far as running panels. Yeah, Joseph Brown. I take it that not that I'm trying to get anybody to shout their ages out, but I take it that you're in an older demographic, which you have an appreciation for certain things, like that jazz, that kung fu movies. I don't know, you might like westerns too, you know. To hell with John Wayne. I like Clint Eastwood and Yul Brynner and them dudes there, they was alright. Yo, Derek Bailey, what's good with you, brother? Underrated Darkness, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. Underrated Darkness, much respect to you, bro. Okay, Joseph. Well, if you come from that age, then you old enough. Even though your parents, older brothers and sisters, and everything got that attachment to that era. It's a good era. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, social scientists, exactly. Chuck D and Flavor Flav, yeah. Them was my boys, man. Public Enemy. Now that is one R hip hop group that I would drive around listening to their music back in the '90s, man. I used to have a little boom box in my car and everything, but that's exactly what I was bumping. I was bumping Public Enemy, man. KRS-One and stuff like that. Boogie Down Productions. That was my stuff, man. Man, them white cops, boy, they hated to hear that Public Enemy playing, man. And I had one time I got a hold of that uh that Ice T tape where he was cop killer, cause that was like banned, right? So I got that Cop Killer tape by Ice-T, and I was driving around blasting that Cop Killer, better you than me. Yeah. Dude, them police hated that, man. They get after you for that. Dude, I'll tell you, man. I love the era that I grew up, man. It's like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't come before that, and I'm glad I didn't come after that. I grew up in the right era, man. The perfect era. Because I'm old enough to remember certain things and was young enough to experience certain things, you know. But life is so different for some of these people today, man. It's something else. It is something else. Yeah, Joseph Brown. You know what I love? James Brown, man. I love that soundtrack to Black Caesar, man. And that Pay the Cost to Be the Boss, man, that was my joint. I used to watch that movie, man, and that scene when I got it on DVD, the scene where he comes out of the place and he's wearing his suit with his derby on and everything, got his cigar in his mouth, and they got that James Brown bumping in the background. I used to rewind that over and over, man. It was so cool. That was, Fred Williamson was the bro, man. Mr. Boxing Today, your question: who do I believe was the best heavyweight in the last 25 years to not win a legitimately recognized world title? You got Ika Biabuchi slightly over Galata, then Tua. Hmm. Let me think about that for a moment. Best heavyweight to not win the world title. Hmm. That is a good question. Um, I think it could possibly be. You know what? I will go out on a limb. There might be a name I'm forgetting because I'm thinking on the fly here. If you gave me 24 hours to come back, I'll come up with a really good answer for you. But off the top of my head, two heavyweights, ironically, that were not black. Tommy Morrison was a good heavyweight that never won a heavyweight title. Uh, and Jerry Cooney, Tommy Morrison. Because if Frank Bruno could have got a title, Jerry Cooney and Tommy Morrison should have been able to get a title. Seriously. But that was a very good question, and I would like to come back to that because there's somebody that I'm thinking of that there's somebody that I should be thinking of that skips my mind at the moment, and that's just information overload. You know, the brother Curtis Anderson, he can remember dates and years and stuff like that. I can't do that. But if you give me some time, I can come up with somebody. Yeah, that was a very good question, man. That was a very good question. I'm still thinking on that actually. Carl the Truth Williams was a very good boxer. Almost beat Larry Holmes in a decision, but he didn't get the decision when he possibly should have gotten a decision. Um, he's another Carl the Truth Williams. I mean, he had everything: size, boxing ability. His chin was very suspect, but he was a very good boxer. Had good height, good reach. I think Carl the Truth Williams had like an 84-inch reach or something. Very long arms. So for all of you that are out there in the chat right now, can you guys smash that like button for me to get my likes up for my analytics, please? Please smash that like button and show some support for the channel. I appreciate you, please. Thank you so much, fellas and ladies out there. Please smash that like button for Stormy B Man. Battle Rifle is asking Deverell Williamson. No, because Deverell Williamson was he was halted, I believe, by David Tua, and then after that there was not much left. Um, let me see. The one thing about the '90s, man, the heavyweight title. Once Tyson went to jail, that title it switched hands so many times. And Riddick Bowe heavily contributed to that by dropping that WBC belt in the trash after defeating Evander Holyfield. Man, I wish he hadn't done that. Derek Bailey, Kirk Johnson was garbage, man. I mean, I'm sorry for anybody who is a Kirk Johnson relative or supporter or whatever, but Kirk Johnson was not heavyweight champion material. He was not. Larry Donald didn't have it. McCline didn't have it. Ruddock didn't have it. Johnson didn't have it. Carl Williams and Tommy Morrison were two that were talented enough to win the titles, but I don't think that they competed or contested against persons that of at the time where they could have won. Ironically, Morrison and Carl the Truth Williams fought each other, and there was a very good fight, and Tommy Morrison prevailed. That was a good fight. If you guys have never seen that fight, go back and check out Carl the Truth Williams against Tommy Morrison. It lasted longer than Williams versus Tyson, but the results were quite similar for different reasons. And I believe Carla Truth Williams put Tommy Morrison on the canvas as well. It was a nice little mix up, man. Mr. Boxing Today, thanks for mentioning those names in the same breath because I would not have recalled that fight had you not done that. Hey, fans perspective, what's going on, man? How you doing? Good to see you out there. Yeah, battle rifle. Razor Ruddock did beat those guys, but you know what? He changed his boxing style by the time he got in there with Dokes. And the thing was, he thought he was a huge punching slugger, and he wasn't. He was just a strong puncher. But the reason that he was nicknamed Razor because he used the jab a lot like Larry Holmes in his youthful career, and he was on his toes more like Ali. He danced around and snapped the jab. He was that type of fighter before he fought Dokes. And then after the Dokes fight, well, actually the Bone Crusher fight, he knocked out Bone Crusher, and then he thought he was a huge puncher, and he began to be flat-footed and slugging. But he wasn't a very good defensive fighter at all, which is why he left himself wide open for other fighters who weren't afraid to stand in with him in fighting. So, you know, Tommy Morrison knocked out Ruddock. So Tyson beat him. Lennox Lewis whitewashed him. Um, so he was very limited, Ruddock. But had he remained that boxer that he was, he possibly could have been something really special because that jab that he used to exhibit. Go back and look at some early Razor Ruddock fights, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Before he fought Bone Crusher Smith, he danced on his toes and he snapped the jab and he threw his punches in combinations. Fat, 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 fat. He would run them off, and he had a lot of ring movement. He would move around the ring, and he was actually very light on his feet. A good dancing on his toes boxer. His weight was anywhere between 225 and 228, something like that. That was Razor Ruddock, man. Mr. Boxing Today, Ray Mercer. When Ray Mercer lost to Larry Holmes, he learned something that he should have known the entire time. He learned that you could win a fight with a jab. He couldn't learn that until Holmes put that jab on him first, second, and last. And he came out of that fight better as a result of losing to Larry Holmes. Yeah, fans' perspective, man. I went out and got some meat for the fourth too, man. I'm gonna be queuing it up, big dog. That's the one thing Stormy B Man can do here in the shop. I know how to barbecue, bro. I really can do that. Matter of fact, when my wife finds out that I'm gonna barbecue, man, I get treated like a king, bro. That's right. Yeah, a fan's perspective. Tony Tucker was a very good boxer, man. I just don't know if his mental faculties were all there because he might have had outside the ring problems or something. But Tony Tucker was a very decent boxer. Had good size and he had boxing ability. but very good size. 6'5", 230 plus pounds. Yeah, took Tyson the distance too. Yeah, Mitch Green had some problems outside the ring, battle rifle. He was more of a street dude than anybody that I could recently remember in boxing. And he didn't care. He was a street dude. He just had athleticism and he had some skills and ability. But he wasn't made for boxing mentally. He he didn't really care about boxing. And that proved. Yeah, man. Mr. Boxing Today, yeah, Carl Williams and Larry Holmes. That was when Larry was given a gift decision, I believe. That fight right there. And Carl the Truth deserved that victory that night. I remember watching that fight. I think it was on NBC, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember that fight, and he boxed the crap out of Larry Holmes. Larry had a hard time dealing with his jab. But it was his size and his reach over Larry because they both had equally boxing skills. But Carl's reach was monstrous, and Larry probably took him a little bit lightly too. Fans' perspective. You know something? I tell you, man, I have this marinade that I do with seasoning. It's not a rub, but it's a seasoning and a marinade that I do. And at least a 24-hour preparation. Dude, I'm telling you, once that is done and it's ready to go on that grill, oh my goodness, we're talking about something good then. That meat falling off the bones. 24 hours is all I need. 24 hours. If I did 48 hours, it's really awesome. Yeah, Derek Bailey, that brother had a lot of problems, man. But it just goes to show how we can have such talented individuals, and our brothers and sisters that are out there in these streets, man. They can't turn the streets loose. They can't do it. But just imagine brothers with that talent and sisters with that talent putting it in the areas where it should go. My goodness, you're talking about people really ascending to another height. The greatest 140 pounder, in my opinion, ooh, well, I can only speak from a modern day era that I know of. I'm not a real historian, contrary to guys calling me a historian. My recollection of fights is pretty decent, but I'm not a historian, so I won't even accept that label, and I'll explain that in myself, that I'm not a historian. But in the modern era, I would like to say that Aaron Pryor was a hell of a 140 pounder. Pernell Whitaker was a hell of a 140 pounder. Shane Mosley was a hell of a 140 pounder. But the greatest out of those guys, wow, probably Pryor. I think Pryor could take Shane Mosley. I really do. Hey, fans perspective, good talking to you too. And enjoy that barbecue, man. Do it up, man. Take some pictures or something and show us. Hey, what's up, odd fella? What's going on, man? Greetings from the north side. Haha. What's good with you, brother? Battle Rifle saying, what about JCC? Listen, man, he was all right, but you know what? There were a number of fighters that he didn't fight, and there were fighters from a few different eras, like I mentioned prior or whatever. They wouldn't have had any problem with Chavez, man. They would not have had any problem with Chavez. Shane Mosley wouldn't have had any problem with Chavez. Shane Mosley would have ate Chavez alive. You know, Chavez had a hard time with Costa Zoo, man. Think about that. Costa Zoo, you know? That's right, Derek Bailey. A man who could go the distance. You understand? Because a lot of things can happen over the course of a fight. And you talk about those later rounds. Man, that separates the men from the boys. Getting to 12 is just like, you know, getting a second win for men who were 15 round fighters. Battle Rifle, is Chavez one of your favorites? Because I'm not really looking to debate it, man. It really not. You asked me a question and I gave you an answer, and now you want to substantiate. There's a lot of fighters who were aging and had problems and had injuries and stuff like that weren't at their best as they went through their careers. You know, Chavez beat Hector Camacho, who I think would have given Chavez a better fight had he never ran into Edwin Rosario. Because Rosario, damn near knocking Camacho's chin off of his face, changed Camacho's boxing style for the rest of his career. And by the time he finally got in the ring with Chavez, he was nowhere near the fighter he was, it's offensively. Camacho was an aggressive guy and would try to knock you out and had fast hands and everything for a southpaw. All the ingredients for trouble for Chavez. but they didn't fight during that era. And Chavez mopped the floor with Rosario. Camacho just outboxed him. Bodru Thibodeau, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a minute either. Thank you for stopping by. Hit that like button, please. Everybody, punch that like button for Stormy B Man. Since we on here, let's just make it worth the while by hitting the like button, please. Thank you. Bonton South D Town, what's going on with you? Yeah, Mr. Boxing today. Yeah, Pryor was something, man. Aaron Pryor deserves his name to be elevated in the sport up to the levels of Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns because he was of that era and he was of that stature in the sport at the time. He was a hell of a fighter, man. Hell of a fighter. You know, but Mr. Boxing today, I went back to one of your earlier comments about Lawrence Clay Bay. He was a very slippery boxer, you said. He was another one that was injury prone and put on weight. Yeah, he was a good boxer, Lawrence Clay Bay. You know, there were some good fighters in the 90s. There were very good fighters all across the sport. Heavyweights, middleweights, welterweights, lightweights, even featherweights. You know, Kevin Kelly, man. I used to love to watch Kevin Kelly fight, man. The Flushing Flash, man, that dude, he was so exciting in his fights because he wasn't afraid of contact. And he had the gift of gab, too. Kevin Kelly could talk your ear off, man. But a very good fighter out of New York. I got a question for you guys. What super middleweight fight could have taken place in the 90s between two champions and never did, but those two guys should have faced each other? Let's see what you guys can come up with during the 90s, the later part of the 90s. The middle part of the 90s. 168, super middleweight. Come on, Bo Drew, what you got, man? You can answer that. Derek Bailey, Bonton, South D Town. You can answer that. Odd fella, you out there. You can answer that. Come on, man. Answer that question. What two middleweights could have fought but didn't fight? Mid 90s. Both were champions. They could have fought each other, but they never faced each other. Joseph Brown, where you at? Mr. Boxing Today. No, sir. No, sir. American fighters. American fighters. Americans. No, I was saying 168, guys. Okay, I gave y'all a long enough time to think about it, so I'm going to drop it on you. The two fighters at 168 that never fought, that could have fought, and it would have been a hell of a match. It would have been, oh, that was very close, Battle Rifle, but that's not it. Roy Jones and McClellan. No, it's actually Roy Jones and Michael Nunn. Roy Jones and Michael Nunn. That would have been a super fight. See, you guys don't even think about Michael Nunn, but Michael Nunn was a hell of a fighter, man. He was a hell of a fighter. And was probably one of the best pure boxers of that era. See, y'all think I just be out here talking crap, but there are plenty of fighters to be thought of and to be mentioned. You know, the sport is vast with talent, man. Vast with talent. Well, Mr. Boxing today, he says, I didn't like how he let Marlon Starling walk him down, though. Well, you know what? It was none. None was actually. He was very bored with a lot of his opponents, man. You know, he was in a position where his talent was so above other fighters. He found himself doing things like laying on the inside with guys and stuff like that because he was so versatile. He could do so many things. And he didn't have the type of people around him that could keep him focused. Yeah, go back and look at those fights with James Toney and Mike McCallum, man. Great fights, you know. Tony and Iran Barkley, you know. Hey, what's good, legendary Top Cats? What's up with you, bro? Thanks for stopping by, man. We just chopping it up about a little bit of boxing. That's all. It's like a freedom discussion, man. You can throw your hat into the ring and touch on a topic, who you like,